Capone Bege. Capone Bege is a mafia don turned pirate and the captain of the fire tank pirates. He is also one of 12 pirates who are referred to as the worst generation. He and his crew came from West Blue, where Bege was one of the heads of the 5 families of the West. During the time skip, he became a subordinate of Charlotte Linlin and married Charlotte Chiffon. The two have a son named Capone Pez. While working under the Big Mom pirates, he held a position of a rook-ranked combatant. Due to his allegiance and actions, he is the secondary antagonist of the Zoo arc. Later, Bege formed a temporary alliance with the Straw Hat Pirates in order to kill Big Mom during the Whole Cake Island arc. After his plan failed, Bege effectively became an enemy of the Emperor and her crew. Sometime during the time skip, his bounty increased from belly 138 million to belly 300 million. After the events of the Whole Cake Island arc, it has increased to belly 350 million. He is also one of the central characters in Gang Bege's Oh My Family cover page serial. Despite being a notorious pirate, Bege is a refined gentleman of great sophistication. He dresses himself in fine suits and enjoys fine dining while on board his ship at sea. He is strongly appalled by things like bad table manners and rudeness, usually maintaining a reserved and calm demeanor. Due to his deep sophistication, Bege is very particular about cleanliness and hygiene, refusing to have a meeting with anyone who doesn't present themselves properly, forcing even his enemies to do so. When meeting Sanji for the first time, he offered him food and drinks, in an apparent act of hospitality and politeness. However, Bege can be very impatient and ill-tempered, being not at all above injuring others, even his own crew, should they provoke his ire even in the slightest. For so long as he is not agitated, Bege appears to be a pirate who prefers to avoid making a scene whenever as possible in order to not confront enemies that he might view as troublesome, such as Admiral Kizaru, Sanji, Brook, and the Mink tribe. An example of this is when he was perfectly willing to meet Monkey D. Luffy, but had no qualms with using violence against the latter if he became angered. As captain of his crew and leader of one of the 5 families of the West, Bege has authority over all those under him. He also had great influence and power over the underworld operations in the West Blue. As a rook combatant within the Big Mom Pirates, he was given the responsibility of being in charge of the Tea Party's security. Bege has an excellent awareness of his surroundings. After taking Nami and Chopper hostage while bargaining with Sanji and Brook at Zoo, he knew that Caesar was hiding nearby, while Sanji and Brook were completely unaware of the presence of the three. In addition, Bege has a strong will since he did not lose consciousness when Big Mom released a wave of House Hoku Haki upon focusing on the broken picture of Mother Carmel, an event which caused many of the people present to faint. Bege is a masterful strategist who uses tactics and trickery, rather than direct physical force in battle. Contrary to his fellow pirates of the worst generation, who defeat their enemies with immense fighting power, Bege could defeat even infamous pirate captains of the Grand Line with his tactical genius alone. Even before he became a pirate, as a mafia don, Bege could ruthlessly and effectively eliminate all his rival mafias from their leaders to their vengeful subordinates and hired assassins through the same ingenuity. Bege is physically fit. After his plan to assassinate Big Mom failed, he could run at great speed to get away from the Big Mom pirates who were after them. He also has a strong tolerance to pain, as he could withstand having his body in his Big Father form being smashed apart by Big Mom while calmly thinking up of a getaway tactic. Shortly after escaping the Whole Cake Chateau, Bege recovered enough to quickly flee despite some bleeding. He has considerable strength for his stocky physique, able to lift up and carry Chiffon, a large woman, in his arms without tiring. Bege is an extraordinary master in marksmanship. With a Tommy gun, Bege could land multiple accurate shots on Katakuri, which caught the latter off guard, an extremely notable feat as the Katakuri is noted to be an exceptional master of Kanbunchoku Haki, with the ability to see slightly ahead into the future. From an extremely far distance, Bege managed to fire a direct pistol shot at Charlotte Oven's head with pinpoint precision from his ship at sea, without hurting his wife, Chiffon. Bege ate the Shiro no Mi, a paramecia-type devil fruit that effectively makes him a miniature fortress. His body is equipped with cannons and he has a small pocket dimension inside his body that resembles the inside of a castle, including furniture. He can also manifest cannon ports and a drawbridge on his person. Anyone or thing that enters his body will be shrunken down and returned to normal size once they leave. He can house a large number of people within his body, as well as horses, and he can manifest a duplicate of himself within the castle. This gives him a massive force of subordinates to call on at all times, and he can conduct meetings in private. It also gives him a place to keep prisoners. Additionally, Bege can control everything within his castle body. The inside of Bege's castle body doesn't experience any exterior punishment that Bege experiences. If Bege takes a hit from an opponent and gets knocked down, people inside the castle don't experience any turbulence. The only exception is the manifestation of Bege inside the castle, who gets knocked around as his outer body does. He could also transform his body to gain fortress-like attributes, such as tank treads. He can even turn into a gigantic fortress-like golem with immense defensive power. Bege's internal body contains several cannons which his subordinates can use in order to fire at nearby targets outside their captain's fortress body. Bege has a spear made of sea stone which he had one of his subordinates use in order to restrain Caesar Clown. When Bege shot Pecoms on Whole Cake Island, he wielded a simple flintlock pistol, using the same against Oven to save his wife at Cacao Island. For use in assassinating the Vinsmoke family, he and other members of the Big Mom Pirates were given walkers. As he betrayed the Big Mom Pirates, Bege pulled out a Tommy gun, which he also favors throughout his adventure at Dressrosa. When Big Mom started her strange scream, Bege used a KX launcher in his attempt to assassinate Big Mom.